Okay, hello and welcome. Okay, so now I'm actually going to talk about my personal experience of kind of farm work, working holiday visa, trying to get that sorted. So at the beginning I was very open to kind of farm work and kind of anything really. But then I kind of had siblings who did the farm work, and since the whole like hospitality tourism thing is new, I kind of was like, you know what, I think I could just go and live a great life and work as a waitress or work in a really nice cafe somewhere and kind of have something that I'd probably be doing anyways but count as my farm work. One thing I would say before you even start looking is that if you want to work in hospitality or tourism, there are kind of different Facebook groups that you kind of can go into and advertise, but from my own experience I would say you kind of just need to go to the location and say that you're there, and then go, if you see some places hiring, go to the restaurant, go to the cafe, because there's so many people who also, backpackers, who want to work in hospitality, and if you're a restaurant or cafe, majority of them are going to choose someone who's already there than someone who's in Melbourne or Sydney who will be there, who says they can be there in a week or 2 weeks or 3 months. And that's kind of just personal experience though. And yeah, I was kind of thinking about working on a farm or doing like banana farming, something like that. My siblings, who had all come to Australia, had done that, but my boyfriend is actually a chef, that's like his career, and so he kind of wanted to work, if he could, in a nice restaurant and have that count as his farm work, because he'd be kind of doing that sort of work anyways because that's what he likes. And so because of that I was kind of like waitressing or kind of working in hospitality would probably suit me as well, and then we could go pick somewhere and go and live and live our Australian life for a few months. So basically we were thinking about going to Cairns, Darwin, or somewhere along the west coast. We both kind of sent out loads of emails, CVs and stuff, and very few places actually got back to us, but one restaurant got back to him in Cairns and gave him the job. So because of my boyfriend getting a job in Cairns, we decided to come to Cairns. But the reason we kind of were looking into Cairns or Darwin or somewhere on the west coast in the first place, the reason we were was because we heard there were nice places. But Cairns, we actually started our travels in here in Australia, in Cairns, and when we were here we met some people living kind of in the hostels that we were staying in who were doing their kind of 88 days here and seemed to be having a great time, and we really enjoyed our time here at the beginning of our travels. So we were like, yeah, let's just go and see what it's like. So we've been here like a week now, and it's March, so it's kind of rainy season, so it's been raining a lot. It's actually quite sunny today, and we managed to get into kind of like a share house. One good thing about it is that a lot of the places that we were looking for to have of our own, so we wouldn't actually have to be working and living in a hostel, we're kind of asking minimum 6 months, and we don't really know how long we're going to stay here. Hopefully 3 months, but maybe a bit longer, maybe 6 months, maybe the rest of our time in Australia, because we are enjoying it so far. But we didn't like committing to 6 months is quite a big deal, but the place that we currently are, you only needed to commit to, I think it's a month, so that's really good. I will put the link to how I kind of found the accommodation below as well. It was flatmates, I think, .com, and yeah, that's kind of how we kind of found the accommodation that we're currently staying in. I have just been like doing all the stuff, like printed out CVs, went around to loads of restaurants and cafes kind of seeing if they're applying, and yeah, it's actually, one thing to note is that it's actually a lot harder than it was, let's say, this time a year ago or something like that, because a lot more backpackers are here now, and a lot more backpackers have heard about the whole hospitality tourism thing, and that how you can kind of live a really good life in like Darwin or Cairns or somewhere along the west coast. And because of that, it's actually kind of a bit more difficult to get jobs in hospitality, and especially now in Cairns it's March, so it's kind of rainy season, it's kind of off season. I think it's from like April to August. April I think is the end of the rainy season, so like May to August is kind of the better time to be in Cairns, when it's kind of winter time in places like Sydney and Melbourne. So it is a bit more difficult for sure. But I've kind of just went around, handed out my CVs, trying not to get too down about the fact that a lot of places just like don't reply. But I have gotten one interview, which I feel like is probably where I'm going to end up doing my 88 days and working. And so far, Cairns is actually really nice. I feel like it's been raining for like 2 or 3 days, but it has kind of gotten sunny again. And we've just been I've been trying to like get a routine and kind of just like settle in and kind of establish a little Australian life for myself for the next probably few months. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.